Hello, everybody. My name is Dean Marx. I work at the UNH Interoperability Lab, and today I'll be walking you through how to write a test suite for DTS. First off, for some clarity, DTS is simply a set of end-to-end tests that are used to send packets between two different nodes and verify DPDK capabilities. It can be used to ensure the system under test, whether that be a network interface card or some other environment running DPDK, behaves accordingly. DTS test suites are organized Python classes that inherit from a base class in our framework. There are a couple of requirements, but they are overall pretty flexible. First off is the naming. The test suite file name must be prepended with testsuite underscore. As you can see, I have the list of merged test suites to DTS on the left side here, and they all start with testsuite underscore. Additionally, the test suite class inside the file must match the file name. For example, in testsuite MTU, the class is called testMTU. And again, it inherits from this test suite class from our framework. Once you have your test suite file created, an important thing to keep in mind are the test suite setup and teardown hooks. Each test suite can define setup suite and teardown suite methods for suite-wide initialization and cleanup. Similarly, you can define setup test case and teardown test case methods for per test setup and cleanup. In this example, testsuite MTU, we have a setup suite method which configures the standard MTU size before the suite runs. And once every case runs, it resets it to its standard MTU length down at the bottom here and teardown suite. Another thing to keep in mind are the licenses and docstrings. Since DTS is an open source project, every test suite must start with the appropriate copyright and license headers. As you can see up here, we have our BSD3 clause, and I work for the University of New Hampshire, so I throw in a copyright right here. Docstrings are required throughout, one at the top of the file describing the test suite, as you can see here. Another one within the test suite class describing the test cases that will be run. And docstrings within each test case identifying the steps and verification process. Each test case must use one of two decorators: func test for functional test cases and perf test for performance test cases. As you can see here, we have the func test decorator above our test case runtime MTU updating and forwarding. Inside each test case, we follow a steps and verify structure. Steps describe what actions you're taking and how you're setting up the case, and verify describes the checks you're making to confirm the expected DPDK behavior. Often you will want to send packets to validate functionality. We typically use Scapy to create packets inside the test suite. For example, in our checksum offload test suite, one test case generates an Ethernet IP UDP packet with a raw payload. As you can see down here, when verifying, the test checks whether that payload was received correctly. A very important DPDK application for validation is testPMD. TestPMD provides statistics about packets received on your DPDK driver, the number of packets received, which queue they arrived on, and more. In DTS, we provide a helper class called testPMD shell. DTS will automatically start a testPMD session on the SUT. Your test cases can then send commands to that session using testPMD shell and validate behavior at a high level. Finally, all DTS test suites must comply with DPDK's coding standards. To help with this, we provide a script that automatically lints and formats your code for you. So if I hop into my terminal, inside of my DTS container, if I run poetry DTS check format, this will check all typing and linting and automatically ensure your code follows DPDK's patchwork standards. Here, since I haven't modified anything off of mainline, you can see there are no issues found in the test suite. If there were problems, like lines that are too long or typing issues, they would be reported here. And that's it. Those are the requirements for writing a DTS test suite. It's designed to be flexible and easy for users while still enforcing consistent quality. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.